Have you ever wanted to take the coordinates from your GPAA mining guide and turn them into a 3D interactive map? In this short basic tutorial, I'm going to share with you how to take those coordinates, enter them into Google Earth with a little bit of conversion, and create an interactive three-dimensional map. A map that you can add points to as each time you go out prospecting, a map that you can share with others, and you can even share it with other members of the GPAA on your online mining guide review. So let's take a look at how simple it is to create a map using your GPS coordinates, Google Earth, and a couple of simple conversions. Let's get started. Navigate to Google Earth from any browser. Once you're on Google Earth, open the program and launch the program. I'm going to share with you a couple of tools that will make your life easier in the long run. First off, you're going to need the coordinates of the claim. Now, if you're going to enter these directly from the GPAA Mining Guide into Google Earth, there's really not much you need to do, except I'm going to share with you a couple of shortcuts that will save you from having to put in a whole lot of extra information. I suggest using an Excel spreadsheet or at least a Word document to make these conversions. All of the claims in the GPAA Mining Guide are written in latitude and longitude, and they include our degrees, minutes, and seconds, which is symbolized with the degree sign, the foot sign, and the inch sign. When you're using these coordinates into either Google Earth or putting them onto a spreadsheet, drop out those symbols. They're not necessary. Saves you a lot of time, especially trying to do the Alt 0176 to put in the degree sign at every step. Your finished sheet should look something like this. We have our latitude of 39, 39, 53, 53, 18.35. You have got to make sure that you leave the spaces, and you do need to use the dots. Now, when we move over to longitude, again, 113 space 49 space 59.93, and you have got to use the negative sign. Now, if you're putting these into a spreadsheet, I'm going to say create a couple of extra fields, and you'll use these if you want to create topo maps using programs like EarthPoint and Google Earth Pro, which will be another video to share with you some more advanced mapping. Let's get started building a map. I have all my coordinates entered into an Excel spreadsheet, so I'm going to copy and paste those from the Excel into the workflow area of Google Earth. Before we get started, let's take a look at the dashboard. In the lower right-hand corner, we have the plus and minus, and of course this moves the Earth back. This brings the Earth forward. We have a compass, which we will always use to keep our north bearing because all of our claims are listed as north. We'll have a 3D view, and I'll show you how that works in a little bit. And of course, we have the globe. Now, the first thing to do is double-click on the compass and bring that into the main field. To the left side, we have a polygon tool and our place marker. And you'll use place markers to put in like your mining finds and different things like that, and always update your project. In the very top, we have our account information. And the one thing I want to do is go into settings and check the settings. We want to make sure that our turn on fly animations are on. Leave that set at medium. And please choose this as no animation. The default is orbital animation, which will drive you crazy because the map will never stop rotating. Scroll down to your display settings. You'll have to open these up because they'll be closed by default. Show zoom, memory size. Depending upon your computer, you can go anywhere from 60 megabytes all the way up to a gig. I'm going to say keep this down around 600 or 700, somewhere in that neighborhood. By default, this will be meters and kilometers. Choose feet and mile. Your setting for latitude and longitude formatting should be set to degrees, minutes, and seconds. Then you've got your general settings. It will recognize that you are in the United States. And then clear your search history. This is something that's going to be real important as you start building more and more maps. You'll want to clear your search history after every project. With that done, we'll hit save, and let's start a project. Go to the magnifying glass, which is your search engine, And I'm going to just copy and paste my coordinates out of my Excel spreadsheet. Bring them over, paste those in, hit enter. And this is going to take us to our very first coordinate, which is going to be the ingress. We lay all of the claims out as ingress, center, northwest, northeast, southeast, southwest to make the square. Now, I'm going to go back over to the right, click Add to Project, give it my ingress, start a new project, and this project's name is No Tell 'em. And by the way, this is an imaginary claim. This does not exist. And I'm going to save the ingress. And we'll make some changes to this as we go along. My second coordinate is going to be the center. Add the project and save place. Now that I have my ingress and my center of claim, let's start building our corners. On all of our mapping, the northwest corner will always be the first corner that we list, and we lay those out in a clockwise rotation. So northwest to northeast to southeast to southwest, and then back up to the northwest corner. We now have our ingress, our center, and all four corners in. Let's make a couple of changes to make it easier to recognize what's what on this map. First, we're going to go to Ingress, click the pencil for Edit, and let's change the color of the icon. We can actually make it a little bit smaller as well. Click back, it auto-saves, and we're going to do the same thing for the center. Center, edit. We'll go with white on that one as well. We'll make it a small size. Hit the back button, and there we go. Now let's close this map in. Come down to your Poly tool, click on that. You'll see it turns blue. And put your arrow point, the crosshair, right on the point. Do the same thing on your northeast corner. Scroll down, or you can back it out. Crosshair on the point to the next point. And when you come back to the northwest corner, it will say Close Shape. Click on that. And we'll just call this one No Tell 'em as well. Hit Save. Now there's a couple of changes we want to make to this. Right off the bat, we want to make it opaque. So we're going to click on the pencil and scroll to our second box. And our opacity from the default is 25%. We're going to take that down to 0, and we can see right through the claim. You can change the color of the line if you like. It's up to you. Find the color you like the best. I'm going to stick with white on this one. Click back, and you've now created a map. Let's take a closer look at our claim. When you get this close in, your lines are going to not look like they're quite straight. But what's happening is that the polygon is following the contour lines. Let's see how it looks in 3D. Having the claim map in the 3D mode offers you a lot of information. Unfortunately, in this version of Google Earth, there is no real topo program that will create an overlay. There are overlays that are available out there. There's a lot of companies that build them, and I leave that up to you to find the one that you like the best. But for most of the people that I've talked to, Just having this view is good enough for them. You can navigate completely around the claim by using the compass in the lower right-hand corner. You can drag to different positions, and by putting your hand right on the center and moving up or down, you can change the angle of your horizon. And if you want to do some aerial prospecting and find some places that you would like to go try, this is a great tool. Looking at this map from this angle, there's 3 places I want to test and do some prospecting. I'll click on the place marker. It turns blue. I'm going to put the crosshair right where I want to prospect. It'll pop up. I'm going to call this P1 for prospect 1. Hit save. Grab another place mark. Put it in the next place I want to prospect. I'll name that one P2. And the third place that really caught my eye, I'll grab a place mark, set it right on the spot, call that one P3. And now I have 3 places of my greatest interest that I want to prospect. And since I carry a handheld GPS with me, if I want to put these spots into my GPS, I'll go to P1, click Edit, pull this down, and here's my latitude and longitude and decimal. And I'll just put that into my GPS, and when I'm on the claim, I'll be at an X marks the spot. Now, as a GPAA member on a GPAA claim, one of the greatest tools that we have to help each other is by using our mapping and talking about the areas that we're going to prospect. You went into P2 and you found a little bit of color, but maybe you wanted a little bit of help to see about finding a little bit more and get some information from other members. Well, when you post this map onto your review in the online mining guide, and let's say you don't want to show P1 and P3, just go to the tab and click on the hide feature, and then P3 and hide the feature. So now when you post this to your review and you can talk about what you did and what you found in the area of P2, you'll be helping other members, and maybe even other members can help you in finding more gold. There's so many different things that I can do with this map at this point. Of course, I can save it as a project, and each and every time I go out to this location, as I find other spots that I'm prospecting or areas that I've found gold, I just drop a place marker right on that spot, and it gives me a way to follow the trends of the gold that I'm finding on the claim. And gives me a lot more information each and every time that I open it up and put in either a new place mark of where I found gold or where I didn't find gold. You can also share this map with your friends, and as I was talking about earlier, post it onto the GPAA Online Mining Guide to help other members become better prospectors. That's all there is to it. It's very simple, very straightforward. It'll take you a couple of times to get used to it, but after that, you'll be creating great maps from the GPS coordinates in the GPAA Mining Guide to Google Earth. Now create some maps for yourself and get out and go prospecting. And I'll see you out there on a GPAA claim.